Hey, you guys.
Welcome.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Justin.
And we are, well, the Johnstons, because this is Fireside Chat with the Johnstons. You might have to close that door behind us.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have a kid that's going to
let me get it.
Bust through any second.
All right.
Hey, guys. Once you are on here, say hello. We are casting right now into the NG Cheer and Gymnastics group, as well as our all-star cheer coaches and owners. We thought this was kind of an applicable topic that would be good for coaches as well. Because tonight, hey Michael, how are you? I saw Kate is on here as well. Guys, tonight,
There you go.
I'll just put it right in front of me. That won't distract me.
I'll put this in front of me.
We're gonna talk. I'm gonna first of all give a kind of a review of the DCC Nationals. We went there. Bravo hosts that. We went this weekend.
What's DCC stand for?
Well, the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. What else would it stand for?
I was just making sure people knew.
And then on top of that, we are going to talk about how to get more confident as an owner or a coach when it comes to competitions. That actually took me a lot of years to get confident in that. So Justin's still not confident. Could you take do you think you could take a team by yourself to competition?
I have trouble just playing music. I get super nervous.
He's like,
yeah. I don't know. It's always
I don't like playing music. Yeah, it makes me nervous.
Super nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see that we have Curtis on here. I'm going to guess that is that comment. I can't always see these right away.
Trying to see if I can see anybody
here. Looks like we have Tiffany and Morgan. Hi, you guys.
I don't know.
That's because you're not.
Yeah. Can you find that on Facebook? I'm not technologically advanced when it comes to this stuff. So. Not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But anyways, the venue. So if any of you guys didn't know, it was moved. It was supposed to be at the stadium, which was going to be incredible because I've never actually been there to the Cowboy Stadium.
We've got Brent on here. Brent, I'm actually going to talk about your program in a minute here.
Yeah.
We have Shelly and Carrie. Hello, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. As you were.
So, anyways, it got moved. It was kind of last minute. I don't know about last minute, but it was pretty last minute. I guess they were going to redo the stadium. And
the World Cup is going to be there in 2026, so they said they need the off-season.
Yeah.
And if you're a Cowboys fan, you know the off-season starts pretty early. Not like Arrowhead.
No. Chiefs are killing it.
They're killing it. Our apparel is so expensive the last few years. I wanted to go buy a jersey, and it's like impossible to get one around here.
I remember when you could get a jersey like a few years back, and it was like, I don't know, like $87 for a jersey. Now it's double. It's $165 for a jersey.
Mahomes ruined it for all of us and Kelsey. And it used to be super cheap to go to the games. In fact, I've been to 2 games, and I didn't even have to pay for tickets. I don't think that could happen today.
Oh, no.
Don't think so.
No. Hello, Morgan.
Hello. Okay, so you guys, we're going to get into, you want to start? Get into our review?
Yeah, let's start it.
Okay. And I know a couple of you actually who are on here who were there this weekend too. So go ahead and give your feedback as well. We're going to go over, and I'm just going to, it's kind of a quick one. We're going to go event, awards, scoring, amenities, and just overall. So I said event, venue.
Yep.
So this was supposed to be, if you guys have ever heard of this event, I was so excited. We've been wanting to go to this for years because we do get a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, I guess, back, before the Chiefs were any good. You were probably a fan of the Cowboys. And so lots of fans in our area, and we've always wanted to go to this event. So we were super excited this year when it fit into our schedule. Of course, I was disappointed to find out it wasn't going to be at the AT&T Center. Some of the dads that were going to go decided that they were not going to go anymore. That was part of the excitement for them. Justin just wanted to see the Cowboy cheerleaders, so he was in.
Danielle makes me watch the show, and making the cheerleaders and all that kind of stuff, how they make the team.
I'm sure you guys do too. Yeah, I know it's more dance than cheer, but it's fun to watch.
But I got to admit, they were good.
They were really good. Yeah.
Very professional. So.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah,
when
very
you were
professional.
Watching? I bet.
It's politically correct, very professional. They did a good job.
Oh, somebody, Curtis is now a Chiefs fan. Well, Curtis, that's because there's no need to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Okay, so my feedback on the convention center, like we were pretty easygoing with it. I was like, hey, I understand that there's going to be a change. That's okay. They picked a nice convention center. I'm going to be real honest. Some of the bathrooms were from 1972 and they were super small. So it was really crowded and hard for like coaches, athletes, anybody to just make a quick run to the bathroom and then leave. And even the ones outside of warm-ups were, unless I was missing a bathroom somewhere, were like the main bathrooms right by the front doors. So we had a couple athletes that we were headed to warm-ups and they're like, oh my gosh, can I go to the bathroom really fast? And I was like, go right now because you're going to be in there for 20 minutes waiting. So yeah, that was just, I don't know, feedback on the convention center. Signage.
So signage. I was walking around in like a Twister shirt, and I grabbed the one that had staff on the back instead of another one that had some writing on it. But I had staff, and I was walking around. I had dads walking up to me and like, "Hey, can you tell me how to get here and here?" And I was like, "Dude, I know it's over this way to go to get in there and actually watch the competition." But like they were walking around for like the one guy told me he'd been walking around for like 18 minutes just looking for where his daughter was going to be performing. So yeah, the signage and then also some of the employees there, or not. I guess it wasn't employees; it was the convention center staff,
right?
not Bravo staff.
Explained to Justin the difference, right? Like they had the lanyard telling you they were either Bravo staff or the event center staff,
but they had no clue. Some of the staff had no clue what was going on, other than like one guy even told me, he goes, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm supposed to sit in this chair here. I was like, dude, I love your honesty, man. I mean, literally. Yeah, no, I was asking him for directions to get back to something because I was turned around, but he was like, yeah, I'm just supposed to sit in this chair. I was like, oh, you're awesome, man.
I asked our parents for feedback too because we had already done our coffee and conversations for these teams. And so I wanted their feedback, and that was the number one response that I got was just the signage. I also did get responses that, man, that event ran all day long. We got there at 7 a.m. And we left at 12:30 a.m. So it was, I would have rather just slept there, I guess, and made it a 24-hour event. Not really, but
yeah.
There was like a backup in the sewer at one point. Like this is not on the event producer. It was just I saw it on Crazy Moms a Cheer, and I was like, oh, that's funny that they were talking about it. But there was a backup in the sewers, and so it just like reeked down in the team rooms and up in the main floor. We came back from eating, and Justin's like, what is that smell? And I was carrying 2 pizzas, which thankfully nobody said anything to me about. And I was like, I don't know, all I smell is pizza. And yeah, we got back to the team room, and our parents were like, ooh. Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were, go ahead.
The MC. Oh, would you want to say? Oh, yeah, the MC was awesome. That guy was fantastic. Like, super, super excited, very lively, quick on his feet.
Singing.
He was quick on his feet to continue stuff. And then, along with that, you want to talk about that?
Oh, they played the Lion King song, and he like picked up one of our tinies and like held her up like Simba.
Yeah.
It was literally like I was crying. I was laughing so hard, and it was just one of those things that's like memorable for the parents then, right? Like everybody was laughing. So he was really great. Cowboy cheerleaders came and performed at every award session. That was great. I hear that maybe they didn't perform in the other hall, but we weren't in there. That was like prep and novice, and we weren't in there that day. We just took our 2 hip hop teams and 4 elite teams. So hopefully everybody got to see that because it was really, really fun. I thought awards were great. Banners and medals were really nice. Only the top 3 got medals. My teams didn't do so hot. So my 2 hip hop teams and my youth 2 got medals, but everybody else, we had a kid with the flu. We had a kid that went to the ER for strep and flu. We taught a kid a routine in an hour and a half and said, hop in, you're on senior 2 now. So you know what?
It's normal cheer.
It's
normal
okay.
Cheer stuff.
I'm sure we were not the only people dealing with that. But if you saw a kid wrapped in a blanket laying on the floor in warm-ups, she was mine. Scoring. Guys, I wrote a whole blog about this, so I won't go too deep in this. It was a mess. I did get a confirmation email today, so if you read my blog and you were angry for me, standing 3 back handsprings by the end of the week should be on the official level, elite level skills examples. So there you go. I'm going to be looking for it, but it'll happen.
Samantha Losak is watching.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
hey, Samantha. Yeah, so one of the judges actually did. So, like, if you're a judge, it was like my favorite thing as we were waiting, like, when he was checking parts of the routine that I was fighting. He actually was like, oh man, I'd had something else right there. It's kind of a dull moment. And he's like, but that's not what you're here for. I'm just giving you feedback. And I was like, that's actually fantastic feedback. Like, keep going with that. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So just kind of the random comments. I actually tried to find him on Facebook and friend him so I can get a routine review. Score check was super fast. There wasn't anything bad. I didn't have to search for anybody. AccuScore wasn't so accurate, but I'm going to let you read my blog for that.
Amenities. So I went to the team room and
We did reserve one. They had 30 available.
yeah, and it was great. We are going to try to do more team rooms. So if you can do a team room in the future, parents really liked it. So I don't know if we've really done those in the past. So
no, I've never felt like we had enough teams there to like do it, or like when they do them in Kansas City, most of our parents just drive up, compete, and leave. But for this one, I thought it was great. Now the team room had 5 chairs, no tables, and it was about this big, but I was glad to have something. It was just super expensive. So I don't know that we could have done that had we not picked a different hotel that was a little bit more affordable and changed at the last minute to one closer.
But it allows for other things to happen because, like one of the kids, it was her birthday, so we were able to decorate it a little bit in there and celebrate that, and just little things that you wouldn't normally be able to do in the sitting in the chairs upstairs.
Our sick kids didn't have to sit in the main arena and just be sick with the music pounding all day, so that was really nice.
Yeah. And with it being spread, that's another thing too that was really nice was with such a spread from 7 a.m. to our last team competed at 10:15 p.m. It was really nice to have some times in there where families could come and just chill out in that room, and it was quiet.
Yeah, we had people there the whole day, like from the time I got there to the time I left. We had families there with siblings, with crossovers, stuff like that, made for a long day. I would have loved more options for coffee and food. I don't know if you even looked. Did you even look at the food at the concessions?
I didn't.
It was like pretzels and popcorn and stuff. They did have another little area, but it was like one area for all of cheer and a volleyball tournament to like share. And so standing in line for coffee was something that like, had we not had 2 foreign exchange students that I could send to go get coffee, like I wasn't getting anything for the day. So there was a coach's room. I was grateful for that. It was way on the other end. So I only got to go there once throughout the day. But they did have some snacks and water, and I was grateful for that. In the All-Star Cheer, so I know we're casting into 2 groups right now. The All-Star Cheer coaches and owners, I asked the other day, like, what makes a competition really great to you? I know a couple people, it was like both sides of the room. So poor event producers might be reading that, like, I don't know what to do now. I love a coach's room. I don't need a lot in there. I would love coffee and water throughout the day, or even somewhere to fill a water bottle, which I know is hard, but the water fountains were closed. So I was glad to have something, but it was.
Why was the water? There was really a problem with a little. That was an issue. Was
I agree. I actually gave them feedback on that.
They had water bottles and the big water jugs and empty. They were running out a lot. So
they had told us bring your own water bottles, but there was nowhere to refill them throughout the day. So they had these big water jugs that were completely empty. And so that was like, it was almost frustrating to have them because then if they're empty, you're kind of frustrated versus, I don't know. Viewing. So I literally did not step foot in the arena the entire day, like the area where you watch.
It was probably one of the better viewing arenas, I thought, just based on you really didn't have like even people sitting in front of you. There was no blockage, and it was really is that a sewer joke? Is that you were laughing?
I guess so.
Okay, no, there was nobody blocking you and watching
it wasn't a crappy
from
view?
any area. So I actually really liked it.
On to kind of just overall a couple things. Longer warm-ups help to keep it calm. So if you're an event producer out there, like I personally don't mind 8 minutes per mat. You're a little bit like, man, what are we gonna do with all this time? Because I don't run my kids every, we don't use 8 minutes on every mat, but it just felt calm in there, which was great. Communication prior to the event was okay. We did get a main point of contact. There were a couple times it took a couple days to get a reply back, or a day or two, I should say, which is hard when you have parents messaging like, hey, do you have the answer to this? Did you get the answer to this yet? So yeah, the one that I'm going to give you guys is we had an athlete who is a hip hop dancer, so he does not have a cheer uniform. He doesn't have a warm up jacket. They opted out of buying them. They're not mandatory, especially for hip hop. That went out to lunch, came back, and they made them pay at the door as a spectator because he did not have a warm-up jacket or a uniform that says Twisters. So for a boy in the sport who's already kind of lacking confidence, in a sport that is just dominated by females, we were watching girls not get questioned. Our foreign exchange students came back from lunch, didn't get questioned because they were females. Yet I have this hip-hop dancer who they paid $25 to come back in, assuming they could get a refund. And when I went to go talk to the people at the coaches table, I was told, we'll text you later today. Then I was told to email, and I still have not gotten anything back. So for a $25 entry, that family is not very happy. So yeah, there's that. Okay, move on. We're going to move on.
Let's do this.
We're going to talk about how to develop more confidence as an owner or a coach at competitions. So some of you guys, hold on. There was one other thing.
What?
If Brent is still watching, I'm going to give a shout out. I've never competed. I messaged him this today. I've never competed against Steel Athletics before. Their team spirit is so fun.
Yep.
Like they do this. I don't know. He could probably do it, but
Steel.
I'm sure he could do it.
I don't know how.
It was like Steel Athletics. Go Steel.
Yeah, go
By
Steel.
the end of the day, I was like we were at awards and I was like, go Steel. Because it's just so catchy.
Yeah, they had a cool little, it was cool.
Their little cheer was cool. The coaches went out in front before their teams would compete. And there's that dull, that downtime. One of them had palms out there. I was like, this is my favorite kind of cheer, actually. And they, the coaches just really rallied around the teams and got the parents, riled up in the stands. So I'm guessing that's
yeah,
okay, yeah. So next time you compete against Steel Athletics, Brent, you be ready.
Bring it.
Because we're going to be like, Twisters, something. We're going to be doing it because that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Really good.
Yeah. So good culture in the gym there. Okay, so how to develop more confidence as an owner or as a coach. Number one, don't be above asking questions. Do you guys, I can't tell you how many owners are like, this is a really stupid question, but how do we do this? Or I did a coaching call with some of our academy members not long ago who are new to All-Star Cheer. They're like, okay, we have a bunch of really stupid questions, but we just need to know them. How do we play music? How do we do coaches check-in? How do we do this and that? And I just walked them through the process. I would have loved to have that back in 2012. Somebody to walk me through it. So don't feel dumb asking questions. Warm-ups are different. The amount of time is different at every competition. Asking questions like that is not stupid.
Yep. I mean, the better prepared you are, the better you're going to be, more confident you're going to be.
Yeah.
When you show up and things are completely different than what you thought they were going to be because you just assumed.
Yep.
That's when you're in trouble. Yeah.
The week before competition, we always take a timer on our phones, and the second the kids get there, we give them about 10 minutes to kind of do their own warm-up, just like we would, in the hallways or whatever, and then we time them based on the number of mats and the amount of time they have on each mat. And then they go do a stunts only, and then they go do a full out. And so it's a replication of what you're going to do at competition that weekend, which is really different if you have 8 minutes or 5 minutes on a mat. And these days, if you have all the stunts and pyramid elements, 5 minutes on a mat is really tight. It's something you almost have to practice just to be able to get it all in and go through those once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
So you're also, in some ways, by practicing it that way, you're conditioning your athletes to go out and be prepared that way, right? So, what score sheet are they using? I went to a competition a couple weeks ago. I registered wrong. Thank God we can hit both score sheets because I didn't realize there was a little option on there to register under the different score sheet. So, find that out. Not bad to ask event producers, why is something the way it is, right? Maybe in the moment they're super crazy, so maybe you can't do it then, but ask them after the event. Send an email and just say, hey, I noticed this was this way. We'd like to attend again, so I'm just curious, why was it that way, so I know for the future.
I'm not sure which comment she was referring to, but April's watching, so hello, April.
Yeah.
And she says, we do that too, but I'm not sure which one.
I think she does the competition style warm-up before a competition. Okay. We've talked about that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, I'm super glad we did this, especially in Dallas, where it was like kind of lack of signage, lack of staff. Arrive early and acclimate yourself to the environment. So I don't care if we have done MCDA 50 times. When we get to a new venue, we always go, not only where's the coach's table, but like, where is score check? Where is the warm-up room? Where are we going to play music from? Like, we just get acclimated with everything so that it doesn't feel chaotic, right?
Oh, yeah.
The last thing you want to do is be searching for AccuScore, like, where is this table for AccuScore right when you get there? Or not right when you get there, but like after your team has just competed and you know you're on a window.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got one that
awards, yeah.
Because I normally don't get involved when it comes to the teaching the cheerleading, but I am going to be a traveling DJ now. So yes, tell them.
That's another Steel thing.
Yeah, was that
Darn
Steel?
you guys, yeah, it was.
Okay, I loved it. I didn't.
They
know
had the block rocker. They were like dragging behind them, and the whole time I was like, Justin would love this.
They had their music like. They were like getting pumped before they went to even warm-ups.
I don't know if all their teams did it, but
it was cool. So now I'm going to get my little speaker. I'm going to make a little backpack thing, and I'm going to be cruising in front of them and stuff. So it's just, it was cool. It adds that little added little touch that really, really sets it off.
I know a lot of teams do that, and I have seen some feedback that it's super annoying if it's super loud in common areas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to apologize in advance. That's going to be Justin. And the whole time, I'm not going to be able to focus on warm-ups because I'm going to be like, turn that down. You're annoying. People turn it down. Justin, that song has cuss words in it.
Stop. I don't listen to the words. It's just the beat. That's it.
I know. It's a problem sometimes. Years ago, our tinies were like bras and thongs singing the Timber because somebody got them hooked on it.
Yeah.
And then what was that other one? Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, and that dad
I
was
like
like,
Pitbull. I'm sorry.
The dad was
Pitbull.
like, why is my daughter singing Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn?
Because that's where we stay every time we go on a cheer competition. Okay. April said yes, it was comp warm.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing, guys, is ask all the questions before your parents arrive, because there is nothing more stressful than a parent asking you, where is this? Where is that? And then, yeah, I know, Kids Bob playlist. Man, our coaches hate Kids Bob, but yes, that is so true. So find those things before the parents ask. Where's concessions? Where's the nearest bathroom? Where's, holy cow, the question I wish or the one that I always think of, where's the nearest bathroom to warm-ups? Because inevitably I will have a tiny or a mini who like is in the middle of warm-ups and has to run to the bathroom before we compete. So find those things. Look at the water stations, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you can do to give parents the heads up as well. Parking was kind of a mess at this event. Like, they had a lot of it, but how long did it take you to find parking?
Oh, man, we had to park in the mud in between tractor trailers.
No, you did not.
I'm dead serious. We did. Yeah. Like, it was so far back. I mean, we didn't have to pay, but it was a ways. And then they told us to get
Was it because you were being cheap and you didn't want to pay, or because
No, that was just where you parked when I got there. But that was like 9 o'clock. But then they were telling us, like, there was a police officer in a car, and he was like, there's a bus, jump on the bus, and they'll take you up to the front. And I'm impatient, so I'm sitting there waiting for like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, we're rolling. So we just walked, and of course, halfway down the way, the bus goes by with all the people we were standing there with. But it's okay. It was good exercise.
Yeah. Because if you weren't taking teams back and forth all day, you needed the exercise, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number 3, if you're wanting to become more confident at competitions, study your score sheets afterwards so that you're ready for the next competition. Find a couple of mentors in the industry who will help you when you don't understand something. There are definitely times still, like we're in, the 11th season, but there are definitely times still that I look at a score sheet and I'm like, I don't really understand what they're saying there. Lots of times in hip hop still, right? Because half the time you get hip hop judges who like don't have a clue what they're talking about, whether it's sanctioned event or not. And then sometimes you get judges who like truly understand hip hop. And when it's something like that, it's like, okay, I need to make sure I know the terminology well enough before I hand it to my dance coach and all
Right.
that. Same thing in cheer though. Like they call things different things depending on where you are. So you need to definitely make sure you have someone you can ask those questions to. And don't be afraid if they're stupid questions.
No, because honestly, back in when we first started, Danielle just trusted AccuScore or trusted the judges and just went with it.
Yep.
But finding out, not everybody's perfect. It's humans. Humans are running this.
Well,
so.
and on top of that, I was like, well, you know the score sheet better than I do. Obviously, I suppose we did something wrong, or I suppose this and that. And I'm going to be honest, like probably the first season, I didn't even know there was an AccuScore. I don't know if there was back then, but like the first season that I recognized there was an AccuScore, and I was like, wow, I haven't been going to that the entire last season. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to ask stupid questions. The people who ask the stupid questions are going to be the people that surpass those who are too prideful to do so. Right? You're going to feel more confident. You're going to get comfortable with those things way before somebody who is not even willing to ask the question because they're afraid of looking stupid.
So how do you build up your understanding of the scoring, Danielle?
Well,
there's one that I really like.
Conferences?
No, well, that one too. But talking to doing score results and stuff with your parents, right?
Yeah. So somebody asked about this, Carrie.
Yeah.
I think if Carrie's still on here. So Carrie, the score sheet meetings with parents. Like, I'll be honest, the first couple times I did them, I started it probably in our second or third season, and it was a matter of transparency. Back in those days, like, I was not good with legalities. We were trying to figure out, like, what does something mean? I didn't have the resources to ask somebody, what does this mean? Like, I didn't know anybody outside of my small circle. And so we did get legalities. Like, there were things I misinterpreted sometimes. And anyway, I had to like be accountable to parents. So I'm like, I'm going to do these score sheet meetings and be honest. Like, we lost because I didn't understand the score sheet correctly. And like, if I'm being honest, I hated those moments.
Yep.
But it held me accountable to make sure we had a whole lot less of them. Right? So in the moment, it sucked, but I got so much better at explaining scores. There are also things like if you can't recite the jump drivers off the top of your head, if you can't recite what they're looking for on tosses, like start doing score sheet meetings with your parents. Because now when I tell kids, like, hey, your landing matters. So when I'm saying ankles at the end, look, right here on the score sheet, the way you land your jump matters, right? You're going to get better at it because you're teaching the kids and the parents. And if you mess up, you mess up. And you just tell people it's part of the sport. We're going to do better.
So Carrie Lee said, can you elaborate on what AccuScore is?
Yeah.
Is it just at certain events?
Yeah, so most events these days really should have it. There may be some IEPs still hanging out back there that don't, but I haven't seen that in the last few years. Basically, after you compete, you can go to a table, and there's usually a judge there, and some people know these way better than I do. But there's usually a judge there or someone who gives you a basic score sheet. So it's going to say, like, here are your difficulty scores, and did you meet that correct range? So, like, difficulty, the highest you can get is 3.6. If you did all of the skills and you had choreographed to that score sheet, then you should have 3.6 on difficulty. So usually I look at that and I say 3.6, 3.6, whatever. I don't know them off the top of my head. I just know to look for certain things. But I'm like, we got it. 3.2, that's a problem because 3 standing back handsprings is an elite level skill, right? So if it's not the difficulty that you choreograph to, did all of the athletes who were supposed to do the skill do it, right? If a stunt falls, it doesn't count, depending on how it fell and when it fell in the stunt sequence. But did all the athletes do it? If so, now I need to talk to somebody at AccuScore because, hey, we did do it. We had one on my Youth 1 this weekend that, like, literally they just said, nope, you got a 3.2. You didn't have enough athletes do it. We're like, no, literally we actually have extras in this one that we shouldn't have, or that maybe for technique scores we shouldn't have. And they had to go back through the video and they counted and they said, oh, yep, you did. You had enough athletes. I'm like, when you double that score, that's a 0.8 that you would have missed. That's bananas to me.
Danny Kahn is watching, and he asked,
did you do that backdrop?
How'd the backdrop look?
They were awesome. They made our pictures look so good. Pop Drops.
Pop Drops.
They're a sponsor for Next Gen. And also, I got his text today. Man, you kill it with text marketing because I spend way more money than I'm going to budget in for Pop Drops next year.
So if he did the backdrops there, they were on par.
They were really good.
That's the biggest Texas star I've seen. So it was huge. All right. And then we had one, Carrie Lee said, do you have those meetings in-house or Zoom with your parents?
Yeah, so I've done both. I did Zoom in 2020. I think Shelly or Dan, they do Zoom. Now I just do them in person. The parents just know the next full practice after competition, we're going to spend the first 5 to 10 minutes going over score sheet. Sometimes I will actually aircast the routine up to a TV. We put a TV like in a common area of the gym space. And I will cast the routine up to the TV so that I can show it. So if we're talking about things like landings, Shelly taught me something really good a couple years ago. I'm never like, Addie, you need to fix your landing here. I just kind of point in that general direction at the person and I'm like, okay, this person right here needs to fix the landing because see how our ankles are apart. And this person right here in our approach, you can see blah, blah, blah. And so you never actually have to say their names, but like they know their. Or if you get a kid who just doesn't pay attention, you're like, this person right here needs to fix their landings.
But the neat thing is it makes you better because you have to. The parents are watching you, and it also brings about that, I don't know, where the parents trust you more when you're being that transparent. So, yeah.
You know what? It's you become the expert, and I love that. We do get parents now who will watch. Do we immediately come back up to the stands after score check, or are we down at score check for a long time? But our parents know that we are going to fight for every point that we have earned. So nobody is going to miss, oh, sorry, I just miscounted the number of kids out there. Like, we're not going to accept those answers because we know what we should be getting. So there you go. Number 4.
Number 4 is using your time effectively.
Okay.
Yes.
So I competed last year with this guy who was super, super nice. I had never met him before. And he comes up to me and he's like, you got to tell your parents to take their routines off of YouTube and Facebook. They're public. I watched all your routines this week. And I was like, oh, did you? And we won. So I will put it this way. A lot of people that spend their time prepping for competition by studying the other team's routines, these days, difficulty doesn't matter, right? It does matter, but like if you're doing the skills, you get the difficulty. Focus on using your time to train your staff better, find new techniques, run your business because your teams are going to be fine. Spend the time that you're doing, not wasted. And I'm going to tell you, watching the competitors for this upcoming weekend, total waste of your time. If you could do that skill, you'd probably be doing it in your routine, right? So not a great use of time. However, here's what good research would be. A couple weeks ago, I posted in Forte Spirit Solutions, hey, does anybody have any extra drills for a back handspring step out? Why? Because my team we got marked off on body control on my youth 2. Yep. So we went from that 3 weeks ago to focusing on the drills, explaining to the kids what we were looking for under body control, explaining to the parents what we're looking for, and ended with a 4.8 on technique. So
boom.
Yeah. Boom for youth 2. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So you really there's better things you can spend your time doing that build athletes rather than just trying to figure out how do I beat this team.
Yeah, we're going to sneak in another little transition right here. That'll give us one more point.
It won't actually.
And I don't know.
It's the way I know you don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so think about things that are going to build your program in the long run, right? The way competitions used to be, maybe studying difficulty and increasing things would have made a difference. But these days, your difficulty is what it is. Do the skills that were choreographed in, and you're going to get the difficulty points. So now focus on technique.
And the big thing is just be proactive and not reactive. I feel like that's very reactive to other people's things and following them. And when you're always worried about what other people are doing and you're not, focused on what you guys should be doing and, your expertise and making sure that they're, it's a well-oiled machine, that you're gonna lose track, and you really can't do both at the same time. So.
Well, and side note, what if...
And same thing in your business as well.
Like, let me provide the antithesis here.
Let's do this.
What if I were like, oh man, that team's not very good. We're going to have no problem this weekend. Are you going to push your athletes and be the best possible coach you can? Probably not, right? And on top of that, what if you saw my senior too, that I just had to put a kid in and teach him the routine an hour and a half before because somebody else was in the ER with strep and flu? Like, you're not seeing a true, accurate representation of my routine, and you're going to think I'm an underdog. So, there you go.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have somebody say
Hey,
something?
who likes my nails? I knew that was Morgan. That's because this is Central Missouri All-Stars colors.
Oh, yeah, she did say that.
Thanks,
Okay.
Morgan.
April Higgins said, we haven't even competed yet. We did a performance, and I was so excited about how well they did. I told the parents, post it and share it. Be proud because they are fantastic. If you're focusing on me, you're doing your team an injustice. Yeah.
Well, and let me put my business hat on here. Other parents are going to be so impressed when they see what a mom posts about her own kid, right? One of our tiny novice parents, I did their coffee and conversation tonight, and I said, how do you feel like your child's progressed this season? They're like, she knows her whole routine. Like, I never thought she would be capable of memorizing a routine like that. And I'm like, what if that person shared the routine and the next person was like, hey, I wonder if my kid could do that, right? You're going to grow your program. Focus on growing the program and not worrying about if your competitors are, going to steal elements of your routine. Who cares? Compete it better than they did.
You know what? And have what I saw was Steele this last weekend. Just having that camaraderie and that presence with your team and your parents and all that kind of stuff. Because whether you're winning or losing, when you have that, it's going to propel you to win because everybody's motivated. You get the kids motivated. It was awesome. So
I know this would not make sense for us. So I got to think what makes sense for us.
Yeah, it was cool.
Although this weekend I'm going to be like touchdown. So there's that.
Go Chiefs. Okay.
Oh my gosh, let's do that this weekend. Okay.
April said yes.
Yeah. Okay, number 5. Don't understand something on your score sheet? Usually you can get a hold of the judges again after the event, right? There have been times that I'm like, I am reading this and I don't actually understand what this says. Or some of the IEPs we go to that use handwriting, right, for like the comments. I'm like, I actually have no idea what this says. So reach out to that event producer. I'm not the who's who in cheerleading. I actually looked up at the judges panel this week and I was like, I wonder if I know anybody. Nope, don't know anybody up there. And every once in a while I know somebody, but I'm not the person that like knows everybody of everybody in cheer. So I'm not just somebody who can like, who is this person? I'm going to go Facebook friend him. I actually went to the guy who was handing out AccuScore. I was like, what's that guy's name? Because I wanted to friend him so that I could see if I can pay to do a virtual review. But like, those are the people that if you don't understand it, figure out how to get a hold of them and ask questions.
Yep.
There you go.
But you did get to meet somebody this weekend.
I should be showing that picture.
You should.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you that picture.
She was pretty impressed. Only because we watched the Dallas Cowboys cheer, tryouts and all that stuff.
Also,
Danielle forces me to watch all that stuff.
So I told Justin, we were with our Rebel rep, Melissa Morrison, who is actually one of my close friends, and I was like, we were talking earlier in the day. Well, Melissa used to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and I was like, I've met Kelly before, the coach. Like, I've met Kelly, but I've never met Judy. Yep. I would love to meet Judy. She's like, oh man, Judy's super shy and like all this, and she's like, so she comes in to awards to like cheer on our kids for the award session, and she goes, hey, come here. I got to meet. Oh, you can't see that. That's because I'm tan in this. Hold on. No, it doesn't work.
Not working.
I promise that lady is Judy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Facebook friend me and you can see it.
That was totally Photoshop. That was not real.
Just like a shining light.
Hello, Monique. Monique Myers watching.
Hello. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And you know what? You never would have noticed her. She was just kind of sitting back.
Very shy. Or very,
relaxed.
very just chill.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks to Melissa, because that was super cool.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, the last one we have on here. Guys, you have a summer coming up. Summer is literally the best time to go learn more about score sheets, learn about skills, figure out how do you get body control on a level 2 team, right? How do you get the drivers that you're looking for?
Right.
How do you find these people that can mentor you, or find these people that will message you back when you're like, hey, can you answer a question for me? Because I don't know what this means, or I don't, whatever. Like, you just need people in your corner. I can tell you, at least in our little Missouri circle, if I see Samantha at a competition, guaranteed I'm over talking to Samantha for 15 or 20 minutes. And on top of that, maybe last season, I went to Samantha. I'm like, hey, watch your score sheets. I just found this and this and this on my score sheet. So keep an eye on yours. Like, those are the people you want looking out for you. Okay. So you can find a lot of that by going to the conferences. Next Gen's conference is going to release February 15th, maybe sooner if we can convince Shelly. But the registration for it releases like in the next 10 days. And we're in Dallas. We get to go back.
We're going back.
We're in Dallas. Man, why didn't I look that up first? I think it's June
24th.
Please, Justin, tell us.
No, it was. It was like June 24th. But anyways.
Justin doesn't even know my birthday. So
what are you talking about? It's totally in June.
No, it isn't.
It's August. Okay, we're looking it up right now, but it is in June.
Are you also questioning if my birthday
I'm going
is
to say
August?
23rd, 24th, 25th.
No. Oh, that's the webinar. Hold on.
I'm going to guess 23rd, 24th, 25th.
It's not a 3.
If I'm right.
It's kind of the 23rd. There will probably be a social hour.
Am I right? Am I right?
Kind of. June 24th and 25th are the official dates.
I'm right.
In Dallas.
Just say I'm right one time. Just one time.
No, you guessed.
But I guessed correctly.
So that is one of our conferences. It's in Dallas. Registration's not open yet. However, if you don't get our daily emails, you can go over to our website and opt in to get our daily blog, stuff like that. And in addition to that, you'll get notified when our registration opens for conference. So this is going to be a huge event. We will for sure have skills tracks going for that. So,
yeah, we thought the last one that was in Vegas was big. This one's actually.
I thought that was our biggest event.
Yeah, this one's actually going to be our biggest event. It's already huge. So, yep.
Guys, I do just need to give one final plug for something happening this week that you guys are not going to want to miss. Whether you are in the Next Gen Academy, whether you are just a gym owner who is not part of the academy, or you're a coach and you want to help the owner, like how do you figure out, the budget? How do you help the owner of the gym to do these things? And how do you get better at budgeting for the upcoming season? So my All-Star packet releases February 15th. Shelly's is already out. We're way ahead of the curve, but in some ways we do this so that we can help you prepare. So I'm just going to show you really quick.
She's pulling it up.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. On our website at nextgenowners.com, there is a section here that says All-Star Budgeting. It is a free webinar we are hosting this Wednesday. Shelly will be on there teaching you how to budget for your All-Star season. This is a totally free webinar, and it's at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be on there doing the facilitation for it. Guys, you're going to see exactly how she uses spreadsheet to factor in the costs. And let me tell you, there is nothing worse than forgetting a cost and having to figure out where am I going to pull it from later in the season, right? Are you going to cut back on something else, or are you going to rob Peter to pay Paul and all of a sudden your rec program is funding your all-star program? That should never happen.
This is usually the number one area in a gym that we hear the most about is how to budget for their all-star season.
Yep, it can make or break your season. So all you have to do is head over to our website at nextgenowners.com. You can click on that picture right there that said budgeting webinar, and you can get registered right here for the webinar. It is going to be hosted on Zoom via the webinar feature. And if you have questions, when you register for that, you're taken to a page that allows you to ask any questions that you might have for the upcoming webinar. And if you're like overseas, like I think Lauren was on here earlier, if you're overseas and you're just not able to watch at that time because it's like the middle of the night for you, register for it anyway, and you'll get the replay after the event itself.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Guys, I hope that was helpful for you. We're excited. This whole month we are going to be doing Fireside Chat with the Johnstons.
Yeah.
Next week is like the week of Valentine's.
Ooh.
Are you prepared for that?
I have not bought chocolates yet, but I always enjoy buying chocolates.
Don't buy me chocolates.
Oh.
You buy them for yourself.
Exactly. But
Don't
I always enjoy buying chocolates.
No.
And you don't like flowers either. I'm going to have to buy you something special.
I would take a massage from somewhere.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good one.
I know.
All right. So, Valentine's Day is coming up. Yes, I need to remember that date.
Someone remind Justin on Friday that he should start working on it.
No, we are back. We are excited to, we have a whole host of ideas that we're going to be talking to you guys about, but we thought this would be a good one because how many times are you at a competition and you just would like to have somebody in your corner to ask questions to and stuff like that? And this is one of those areas. So, yeah.
Well, you know, and I sat back this weekend a little bit and I just thought to myself, like, you don't remember those moments until you see other gym owners who are like, I don't know what's happening right now. You don't remember those moments at the time, right? But when you sit back later, you're like, what was this like to do this my first season or my second season? And like, you know, I go to a new event these days and I'm lost. Like, it takes me a minute. I got to figure out what's happening and where everything is and, you know, all of that. But we've learned some of the questions to ask along the way, and now we can help other people do that. So I know some of my coaching clients, like, we're focused on business, but guess what? Every so often, a call to just make sure that you're successful on the mat too is the mission of Next Gen, being successful both on and off the mat. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, it was great to be here with you. Join us again next Monday. We'll put out our topic on Monday. You'll get that.
Yeah.
But join us again next Monday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. If it applies to the if it applies to the coaches, we will cast this into the coaches group as well. If not, owners, if you are watching this in the coaches group right now, but you're not part of NG Cheer and Gymnastics Gym Owners, please go over there. That's where we talk a lot of business stuff. And it's important for you guys to have that as well.
Yeah.
What were you tapping me?
We're going to do the Fireside Chat. Ready? So, Fireside Chat at 9. See you guys.
Oh my gosh. Bye, you guys. Oh, now it's just, it won't end. Nothing will end now. Okay. Oh my gosh.
We can't end this.
It's never going to end.
It's the never-ending story here.
Oh, okay. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.